Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing Leap! It's about... Actually, I have no clue what this is about. It's some sort of French animated film. I think it's like something involving a ballerina or something? Like the original title is Ballerina, I think. Leap! And I'm back. So, yeah, to go over the plot here, it's kind of interesting. It's basically the Karate Kid, but instead of karate, like an old man teaching a young kid karate, and like for like a karate tournament, this is a young girl being taught by an older lady ballet for a ballerina tryouts to be in Swan Lake. And believe it or not, this is not as hokey as that sounds. I honestly think I love this movie. See, here's the thing. There's issues. There are issues. Particularly with some of the localization stuff they did. The English, at least the English voice acting at parts wasn't that good, for one thing. They lip-synced really well, like surprisingly well. Over the French words, they wrote up the script so their words actually match the lip flaps pretty accurately for the most part. They did have to flub a few lines here and there with I remember at one point this young boy who was the main character's best friend, right? He said well, we made it out of there, no? It was like, you know, the French way they say, oui, no? Just to match up the lips, because that's how the character talked, and it was like... It's just funny, because this is set in France, but, nobody actually has a French accent or anything, so it's just kind of weird when somebody does something like that. But yeah, for the most part, they matched up the lips really well. And then there's other things, I know this is a very European thing, and maybe it's just taste, but the fact that characters tend to talk a lot in scenes where they don't have to. I mean, it's not really on the scale of the Fantastic Voyage or whatever it's called, that movie about Christopher Columbus. That really stupid kids movie about Christopher Columbus. It's not like that. It's not like they can't give you a split second to breathe, but nonetheless, there'll be points where somebody's hiding in a room or something, or there's something that going on that should be probably a quieter moment, and there's characters joking or something in the background. It's a European thing, I get it. They do that in their movies, but yeah, that was a little annoying. But it didn't overpower stuff. Also, there was also their choice of music that kind of bothered me too. I mean, this is meant to be the 19th century, and she's auditioning for Swan Lake, and it's kind of weird to hear Europop being played and stuff in there. I don't know. It felt out of place. Oh yeah, and as far as historical accuracy goes in this thing, this is completely bonkers. They're there as the Eiffel Tower's being built and stuff. Oh, and coincidentally, the Statue of Liberty is being assembled there too. I'm pretty sure those were a few years apart. Also, the Statue of Liberty is green, which is inaccurate because the statue's copper, you see, and it turns green after it oxidizes. So when it was originally placed in a New York harbor, it would have been brown copper colored, and it turned to green later on. This is all nitpicks, is what I'm trying to get at. As I said, the talking over each other stuff, that's a little jarring at first. But once you get used to it, about 20 minutes in, once you start to, acclimate to that style and stuff, this movie just had me smiling the whole fucking time. Honestly, it's not the greatest thing ever, but it is done with so much passion, so much care. The people who made this very clearly cared a lot for the story, cared for the characters and stuff. I just had a warm feeling in my heart the whole time. To a point where I was starting to wonder if, psychedelic drugs were being pumped into the ventilation system. Because even during like pretty flat scenes, I was feeling really fucking good watching this movie. But you know, it wouldn't be a bad tactic. Should pump that into the Fast and the Furious movies. That might help me actually. But anyway, yeah. Honestly, if I had to compare this to anything, it reminded me of old Pixar before Pixar sold its soul to the devil. You know, like just so much passion for what they're doing. That's so much passion. Like some people got in a room and said, "We want to tell this story." And that is great to see. I love seeing that. I'm sad that's not happening in mainstream theaters very often. I'm sad that there is no longer a Pixar god around. But like, I love the fact that movies like this still get through sometimes. Even if they have to come from France, they still come through. And that is just great. I love the character design in this movie as well. Like, animation level, it's not exactly Frozen, but like, the character models look good. The design of people's clothes, of their behavior, stuff, of their hairstyle, it looks really good. I like looking at these characters. Nobody's ugly or anything, which I've seen European animation that is very ugly looking, but no, these people all look great. And yeah, I just can't help but heap praise on this thing. As I said though, it's not. I wouldn't call it like a masterpiece by any standards, but if you just want to see something that has a lot of passion behind it, and you'll probably have a lot of fun watching it, this is the movie for you. Honestly. Take your kids to it. I honestly don't know if they'll like it as much as I did, but take your kids to it. Certainly better than whatever other kids' movies are out by now. Was it the Emoji Movie? Is that it? Yeah, take your kids to see Leap instead. If it's in your theater. My theater was showing it one time a day. Opening week over here. Once a day. Kind of impressive for my theater. They don't normally show like foreign films at all. So that's interesting. But yeah, one play a day over in this theater. So if you can find one that's playing it, I'd suggest seeking it out. It's worth it. It's worth it, honestly. Really enjoyable. So until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching a Dyer Situation.